What's up guys, this is Scoopman5000. Today we're back for another action figure review. Today we're taking a look at the McFarlane Toys DC Multiverse Batman the Animated Series Blue variant. Now if you know anything about this McFarlane Toys line, you know that this animated Batman has been out since the start earlier in the year, and we've seen pictures of this blue variant pretty early as well, but he's only now starting to pop up in stores. I finally found him in Target after a few weeks of searching for him, and the weird thing with this figure is that it's not really accurate to any versions of Batman. With the other Batman, Detective Comics 1000, we had the original and the blue variant as well, but this could pass as like a generic blue costume Batman. But this is stylized and marketed as a Batman the Animated Series figure, and in that show he never wore a blue costume like this. And that even goes without saying the obvious flaws and design inaccuracies that this figure has in relation to Batman the Animated Series. But that being said, I kind of love this figure, almost in a bootleg kind of way. For the packaging, the front's a nice big open window. You're seeing everything you're getting with the figure. DC Multiverse Batman on the bottom. On the side it reads Batman the Animated Series, and some more on the other side. And then on the back, here's the depiction of what you're getting, and some other characters in the wave. But enough about packaging. Let's get to it and crack open the Batman. Here's a look at everything that comes included with the figure. You're getting the standard McFarlane Toys DC base. So you just got a little DC logo kind of varnished there. You're also getting two alternate hands to hold the accessories, which are the Bat Grapple, as well as a chunky Batarang. And then this is really cool. You get the collector card, but because this is the Chase blue variant of Batman, it's going to be in this foil card. And this is so cool to me. It's so 90s. Honestly, the whole thing with the blue variant is very early 90s McFarlane to me. Just having like a weird variant like that, and then a cool collector card as well. It's something that you don't get with Marvel Legends, and you don't get with any other figure line. The back is the exact same as the existing Batman. You got the read-up on the card. When two shots ring out, Bruce Wayne's life changed forever. He pledged himself to justice, and he has upheld that oath for years, wearing many names: the Dark Knight, the world's greatest detective, the Cape Crusader. He has battled many tragic foes like the Joker, the Penguin, Mr. Freeze, and so many more. But deep inside, he knows that he shares something with them that most of humanity wouldn't understand: a commitment to the fight. See, I really do love these collector cards. I'm bringing my stack of them here. I'll try to find the original BTAS Batman. Here it is here. So you can compare the two cards and see the difference between them. And it's the same thing for that Batman 1000. But yeah, I got a nice stack of collector cards now. I'm going to have to get like a binder page for these things. But I think these are really cool. A really cool incentive to buy these DC figures. And here is the Batman out of his packaging. And like I was saying before, this is totally inaccurate to Batman the Animated Series in sculpt, and now even in terms of color. This is the Batman they claim it's based on. It's actually a lot closer to New Batman Adventures, or maybe even the Justice League cartoon in terms of style. The original was a bit less exaggerated in proportion, and then even more so, it is McFarlaneized. So even compared to New Batman Adventures or to Justice League, this guy's way slimmer at the waist, way wider at the torso, and way skinnier at the legs, even more so than those cartoons. But something about that actually really makes me like this figure. If you want a perfect, accurate Batman the Animated Series figure, you go for the DC collectibles. But this is kind of oddball. I don't know. I'm really drawn to it for some reason. I think I just like the obscure kind of weird stuff like this. I'll go ahead and I'll bring in the original Animated Series Batman. And you see the colors are way more accurate on this one up. And then you know that's going to be an issue with this figure, is the standing because of those little ass legs. But yeah, the original, it looks very accurate now when you stand it next to the blue variant, but I really do like these figures a lot. Like I said, they're not going to be for everybody. They're not perfectly accurate to the show. But yeah, let's get a closer look at the figure. I'll leave this Batman in the frame, I guess. But you take a look at that Batman head sculpt. It's like a brick, this dude. And I think the white eyes pop a lot more in the blue head sculpt. It looks like there's a bit of black highlighting on the inside, which actually I think works pretty well. But other than that, it's the same face. It looks like the same skin tone color as you'd expect. And everything's just done in the blue that is black on this figure. The inside of the cape and the outside are one color. As with here, you have the blue inside and the black outside. So you got that bat logo in the middle there. And it's a fairly clean job. I guess the bottom here is a bit splotchy. And you really see this exaggerated McFarlane anatomy that this Batman has. And yeah, down at the belt, this is the exact same belt as the other Batman. Big pouch belt in yellow. And you got the blue trunks. And you got these real thin legs on the Batman down here. And then to go over articulation with the Batman, the articulation on McFarlane's has totally been hit or miss so far. With this Batman, it's a bit limited, but it's also posable enough, I think. And honestly, I think the Batman is just going to be vanilla posed anyway on the shelf. It's kind of the best way to show off that anatomy of this animated style. And I think if you do have it in certain poses, it just kind of looks awkward. It's on some kind of ball joint, but it's pretty stiff because the neck is so large. and it's sculpted right into the neck. So you're not getting too much movement at the neck. You could really rotate it and you could try. It does go back pretty impressive, but down it really doesn't go at all. Then we have a ball joint at the torso here. And it's got decent movement, I guess. It's got side to side is pretty good. It's going to go back that much and forward that much. And you got butterfly joints at the shoulders, which I'm always a big fan of. Going up maybe a little bit, but it actually breaks it up. The cape kind of is a separate piece, and so it kind of gets out of the way if you need it to. And you can get a pretty decent stretch out of there. And the biceps on a real tight swivel. And then single jointed elbow, which if you have a figure like this, I don't think you should have a single jointed elbow, but I guess it's so big and chunky, it'd kind of look weird if it wasn't. And then the wrist is going to swivel. And it's going to hinge. There is either a ball or a swivel at the waist, but it's pretty tight. And we got crazy splits going for the thighs. You can see the ball joints inside there. So you're getting a rotation and a big ball joint movement here. So very good on the legs. Although I wouldn't say they're too useful because they're so thin and the figure doesn't stand as it is. And then getting the cape out of the way, you got the double jointed knee, which is very stiff. But that goes all the way. And then the ankles are on a ball, which is kind of ugly, but I think you kind of need the support for this guy. So I don't mind it that much. And it's got a very good range of motion. All sorts of movement there. And on McFarlane's, you even have a toe hinge. But that's going to do it overall for your look at the McFarlane animated Batman. And now let's do my favorite part, and let's look at some comparison. So here he is with his original black counterpart. And then we have the McFarlane White Knight Batman. And you can already see how much better McFarlane's getting just a few waves in compared to this guy. The White Knight is such a great figure. And here he is with the McFarlane Detective Comics 1000 Blue Suit Batman and the original black version. Here he is with the NECA Toys Batman vs. Alien and the NECA Superman vs. Alien. Here he is with the McFarlane Arkham Asylum Joker and the Batman Who Laughs. Here he is with some Mattel Dark Knight Returns Batman figures. Here he is with another Dark Knight Returns Armored Batman and the Sinestro Corpse Batman from Mattel. Here he is with the Mattel Build-A-Figure Doomsday and a Mattel Superman. And then finally, here's the only other two animated McFarlane figures so far. We have the Superman Animated Series, Superman, and the Justice League Animated Series Green Lantern. And yeah, while it's not accurate at all, you gotta love how these guys look together. Overall, that's gonna do it for your look at the McFarlane DC Multiverse Animated Batman Blue variant. And yeah, this figure has some issues with that base body, the base figure, but I really do like it in this blue color scheme. It makes no sense, it has nothing to do with Batman the Animated Series, but at the same time, it's a cool action figure, and I think it actually works really well. And I really do love these variants. I love the data card that's in foil. I love these incentives to go out and hunt and find these variants of figures. It's very old school and it's very McFarlane, and I'm on board for it. I'm a sucker. I'm going to buy any Batman, any variant they're going to make. I'm going to gobble that shit up. So what do you think of the figure? Let me know in the comments. If you like any sort of action figure reviews, you can stick right here on the Scoopman 5000 YouTube channel. I'm going to leave it off with some pictures I took of the figure. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next action figure review.